Welcome to the Digital Real Estate Secrets Podcast. We are on episode, I don't even know. Let's check it out. Episode number 14. And guys, we're going to be talking about the niches that you should avoid like the plague. Now, right out the gate, you can notice I say niches, not niches. Sometimes I change it, say niches, but usually it's niches. I'm from the country, I'm from the bush, I'm from the small town, so I apologize. Welcome to this podcast episode. I'm excited to be doing this today. And everything I'm going to be sharing today is going to be 100% from experience firsthand. I've tested the niche. I've lost money in the niche. If for some reason I give you one that's not good that I have heard from many, many, many people, I will let you know. But I think all the ones on my list are niches I personally tried. And that gets me excited because I can literally just freeball this thing and I can just speak from experience and you guys are going to be able to understand that. So without further ado, my name is Nick Wood. If you don't know who I am, then that's completely fine because I'm not that big of a deal. I've just been doing this little amazing, simple business in this tiny corner of the internet for a long time, and I happen to be pretty good at it, okay? I've been doing this since 2016. I have made millions of dollars doing the business. Now, the business is this. It's not selling a program. It's not freaking software. It's not whatever. It's not the metaverse. It is this simple. Pick a city, pick a niche, okay? Build a website and rank it on Google, top of Google. Rent it out. That's it. Done. Okay. And get paid. And I can't say passively because everyone gets upset. Semi-passively. Okay. But very passively. That's it. Build it. Pick a city, pick a niche, build a website and rank it on Google, rent it out. Done. That's the business. And I have made millions of dollars doing this simple business. I know theoretically from like conceptualization or from a concept point of view or perspective, it's a very, very simple business, but there are a lot of nuances. What city, what niche, how do you know what's a good city? What's a good volume? What's the good search volume? What's a good population? How do I do this? There's a lot of little nuances in any business, but from an actual conceptual standpoint, this is a very, very, if not the most simple business. I call it the simplest business model on the internet. Okay, period. I think it's that simple. So I wanted to lead with letting you know I've made millions of dollars, not to flex, not to this, that, and the rest, but so that you guys have a reason to even listen to me because there's a lot of people talking. It doesn't cost you anything to talk. There's no police out there on the internet that's saying, oh, you're lying about this. Anyone can say whatever the heck they want these days, and it's kind of scary. So that is me. I've been, again, doing this for a long time. I made all the mistakes in the world, including the niches that we're going to be talking about today. And that, my friends, is, I would say, one of the reasons why you should consider listening to me today. Okay, real quick, my goal for this episode is that I'm going to give you a list of niches that you can write down and you can choose not to go into. Now, of course, some of you guys might be like, I have been at times in my life where I have to go and try it, touch the stove. Okay, I could see a fire there, but I got to actually touch it to see if it's hot. That's you, no problem. Go try it out. But please remember this episode, write down those niches, and when you try them out and you see, oh yeah, that makes sense. Just know that I wasn't full of crap. This is from experience, okay? Because I didn't believe sometimes the people that told me that niche is bad. I just did it anyway, and I found out firsthand, okay? Also, I would say this. It's not necessarily good and bad. It's varying degrees of good and bad, right? Life is not black and white. Niches are not black and white. Freaking being a good person is not black and white. Being rich is not black and white. It's a spectrum, okay? But I'm going to talk to you about niches that are on the spectrum that lean towards the bad side, okay? And not all of them are on the very bad side, but they're all at least on, past the middle point where I'm not touching them, okay? I would say there's too many niches, there's too much money, too much opportunity for you to go into these niches, okay? So that said, guys, let's just get into this. Let's dig right into this episode right now. All right, so guys, I say this all the time, and I really, really mean it. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying. Some of you guys are going to want to go and try these out for yourself, and that's okay. Some of you guys might have to go lose money on these. You might have to go and waste time on these to believe me or see for yourself. And that's just the type of person you are. I will tell you that's who I used to be. I wanted to do everything myself. I was Mr. DIY, pound my chest. I'd rather it take longer, and I did it myself. And then I realized, you know what? It doesn't pay. Doesn't pay, and I would rather take the quicker route and learn from other people's mistakes because I don't get my value out of making mistakes and taking twice as long to learn something just to say I did it. I derive value and I get excited about achieving the thing and getting the result, and then going and using that result to bless other people, whether it's my family, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So I just want you to know that for those of you that are like, yeah, I have to just touch it. I never believe people unless I do it myself. This is not your episode. If you want to listen to this just for entertainment purposes, no problem. But if you're one of those people, then just save yourself some time, hop off, and go try it yourself. Okay. Yeah, just a quick little point there. Okay. Now, next thing I want to say is this before I get into this list. You can get leads in any niche, okay, that's legal, right? You could get them in illegal niches too, but I'm not going to support that and I don't do that either. Any niche you can get leads doing this model, building a website, ranking on Google, building a generic website, ranking it on Google, and then, getting phone calls. Like it works for any, it depends. But it's varying degrees. Okay. How many leads am I going to get from assisted living, a niche that I've tried, by the way? How many leads can I get? And with the time and the effort and all the competition that I'm going to be focusing on versus how much I'm going to get paid, instead of maybe I should just go over here and it's not quite as sexy and I'm not getting paid quite as much, but it's radically easier and I can do it 10 times, right? So I want you to know, no matter what your business is, no matter what your niche is, no matter what you're thinking, yes, it will work to some degree, but there are nuances and there are things that are going to make it harder. For example, if you're going to go into some niches, you're going to need there's like some legal stuff you're going to need, some compliance stuff. And for me, it's like, that's just another hoop I don't want to have to jump through when I could go into niches that do not require it. Okay. But I do want you to know, no matter what, you will get leads. It just depends on how many and is the juice worth the squeeze. Okay. So before we get into this list, I want you, let's just do a quick review of the niche criteria for Rank and Rent digital real estate business model. Okay. This business model, these are the criteria that I follow to a T. And if they do not follow these criteria, I do not touch them. This is me personally. Trust me, when I first heard about these criteria, I thought, yeah, that's good. I'm going to go into it checks every criteria except for this. And I would go into it and it would work a bit and it would work okay. And then I would be like, yeah, and then I'm like, that's exactly why they said not to, because it doesn't work well with this type of a niche. Okay. So quick refresher. Number one, the whatever niche you choose needs to be phone driven. Okay. They need to come to your house to give you an estimate. They shouldn't be a storefront. Number two, it should be generic in nature and not a branded niche. So for example, I don't give two rats turds about who pours my concrete. As long as it gets done, I don't care, because concrete. Yeah, they're going to use some more rebar. Yeah, it's whatever. But generally speaking, concrete is concrete. Tree service, same thing. As long as they have a license and as long as they've done work and it doesn't look like some sketchy company, just get the tree out of my yard. I don't really care. Okay. On the contrary, if you're going to come remodel my home, I want to see projects that you've done. I want to know who you've done it for. I want to know if you've done people in my neighborhood. I want to go to Facebook maybe and ask for recommendations. It becomes much more referral based and branded. Okay. Number three, it should be medium to high ticket. I stay away from all the low stuff like the towing. We're going to get into that in a second, and I'll tell you why. I also want to make sure there's good search volume. So there's some niches that are high volume, but it's very low search volume. There's not a lot of projects that go up in any area, very often. So for example, maybe like a niche like commercial building, okay, which by the way isn't a great niche for various reasons. But how many commercial building leads are there going to be in your city? Okay, now if you're in a big city, maybe a lot, but then there might be some competition. But the other thing is, you got to realize if it's a commercial building, I don't think somebody that has the money to build a commercial building is just going to go to Google and say, build me a commercial building. They're probably going to ask around. They probably have friends that have commercial buildings, right? So, and there's not that much volume. It's not a niche that would be worth it because there's not that much volume. Okay. So there needs to be adequate search volume, which is an entire episode on its own. It's something that we cover in depth inside of our Digital Landlords program. There is a minimum search volume that there needs to be. And by the way, I like to use, because a lot of people do ask this, which tool do you use for search volume, etc. I use a tool called rankandrentengine.com. It was actually developed by one of my students, and I am all in on that tool. That's what I'm basing everything off of. For those of you that are wondering, how do you find your search volume? Okay, just a little plug for my student. Okay. And that's it, guys. Lastly, as a bonus, make sure it's recession resistant. It doesn't have to be, but some of you guys, maybe not you guys, but some of my students, they went into, or even me, I was in when things were really hot, things were cooking in 2020, 2021. Everyone was putting in pools. Everyone was doing a HELOC, taking equity out of their house, putting in a pool. Pool building was cranking. And in fact, my whole street, everyone was putting in a pool. And then 2023 came and nobody's putting in pools. So that is a niche that got destroyed from the lead generation perspective compared to what it was in 2021, 2020, 2022, right? On the contrary, stuff like tree service, which you cannot avoid. If a tree's tipping into your yard or going to hit your roof, you have to get it done. It's not really a service that you do because you want to. It's a service that you do because you have to. It is recession resistant. Nothing's recession proof, but it's recession resistant. Okay. And guys, lastly, a note, certain niches do require special legal compliance, like mortgages, like attorneys, like a host of things. So be careful with those. I don't touch those at all because usually those are also not phone driven as well. So I don't touch those, just as a FYI. So with that said, let's get into the list of niches. All right, so guys, with that, let's go ahead. Let's start with the first and foremost niche that I want to just bring right out the gate, which is towing. I've had two towing sites in my life. I still own one of them, and I am making money, but it's very small. It's been a bit of a pain. There's many reasons why I don't like towing. I did it in the very beginning because I was part of a group where everyone was talking about towing. I don't like towing, and what I'm going to do with this list, I'm going to tell you the reasons on the list of the criteria, which boxes it doesn't check, so that you know why I don't like it. Okay, towing is not high ticket. If a tow costs you $100, that means that, after the paying for the truck, paying for the employee that's driving the truck, paying for the gas, paying for the insurance, blah, 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 blah. How much are they really putting in their pocket? $30? $20? Okay. Is their net profit? Maybe let's say it's 20. So now they got $20, and let's say they even give you 50% of the profit. That's $10 a clip. How many leads are you gonna have to send that person that they're gonna have to close for you to even think about getting $1,000 per month? That is why I don't like towing. The other reason I don't like towing, guys, is for whatever reason, the business owner is not the most driven, hungry business owner across the board. If you're looking at different niches, most of the ones I've worked with are not that way. Now, there are some, of course, in every industry. There's business owners that are crushing it. There's business owners that are serious. They know what they're doing. But this one, most of the business owner you're going to talk to, it is mind numbing. Okay, towing, I'm done. I'm out. I have one site. I built my very first project was towing, made money, sold the website for $9,000 to a friend. Like an idiot, built another one in 2020. No, 2019. I think I sold it in 2020 or maybe late 2019. I can't even remember. And it's produced, but it's not something I'm going to go into again and again and again. Okay, that's number one. So towing. Number two, electrician. Okay, for whatever reason, electrician, I think it's just a little too branded, but not only is it branded, but it's also not super high ticket for a lot of the jobs that you get. A lot of the jobs that you get for electrical is just these little tiny odd jobs, which kind of fall under handyman. A lot of times I think the handyman actually get those jobs. Um, and for that reason, the money that most of the electricians, where they make money, if I talk to some of the friends, the people I know that are in this business, is they have relationships with builders. They get the contract. Hey, every time I build a new house, I'm going to go wire the house. Boom. That said, with a lot of these niches, and the third thing, this is a pretty competitive niche. For whatever reason, I found it's highly competitive. Um, that said, guys, with some of these niches, if it's highly competitive and it doesn't work, you can sometimes look at a sub niche within that niche and it will work. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. With electrician, I have a Tesla. And I have wired my house so that it's converted so that the power is such that it supports the big charger. I don't even know what the service is called, but whatever that service is called, that service right there, I think I paid like $500. It took them an hour, 2 hours. If you're in a big city and you're doing, let's just say you're focusing on that, what is it, EV converting, EV electric vehicle, power converting. I don't know what the niche is called. That could be interesting, but electrician as a whole, no. And by the way, this is from experience. I have had a site. Did I have a site or did I just do SEO? Either way, I've had a client in this niche and it was very competitive and it was not worth it. We didn't get a bunch of leads. It was not something that I would recommend. And this is also a niche I've heard from a lot of other people that is not recommended. Okay. Electrician. Next one, HVAC. Okay. High ticket. It's a little bit too high ticket. It makes it branded. And I would say the main reason why it doesn't work is because it's super competitive. Very, very competitive. Again, back to what I said about electrician. You can go into a sub niche of HVAC potentially, and it might work, but HVAC, I've had a couple of projects, do not like it. I'm out, not doing it. Okay. Next, plumbing. Same deal. Plumbing, electrician, HVAC, these all kind of fall in the same category. They should work on paper. They're phone driven, whatever, whatever, whatever. But for some reason, I think they're just a little too branded and they're too cutthroat. There's not enough money for the amount of work that you have to put in. And that's just the truth. Okay. Plumbing, I'm out. Again, I've done projects in this. I've had projects. I've owned websites. I've worked with national franchises doing their SEO as well as doing lead gen sites. And it just does it. I get leads. I've gotten leads, but it never works to the point where it's passive. It's always this. It's always that. It's always complaint this, whatever. I'm out on plumbing. Okay. Next one. One that maybe you've heard in other groups that you should do or you've heard tossed around, but I hate this niche. It is carpet cleaning. I hate carpet. This is my second project I ever did was carpet cleaning. Now, I never ended up getting a client for this. I got stuck on page 2, doing all my SEO, trying this, trying that. I even got the GMB. I had leads coming in and I could not get anyone and I could not get that thing to rank. Carpet cleaning is low ticket. Carpet cleaning is also highly competitive, especially for how low ticket it is. And it is not worth it, guys. In my opinion, carpet cleaning, I'm out. Okay. Next, window washing. Low ticket, don't love it. Anyone can start it. Highly competitive because any freaking person can go buy stuff from Lowe's, Home Depot, and start washing windows, knock on your door, throw out a couple flyers. It's very competitive for the amount of money that's in it, and it's too low ticket. Okay. Next, kind of a bit of a random one. This is alarm systems. I was coming from the alarm system world because I was doing door-to-door sales for alarm systems. I worked for a company called Vivint. I thought, hey, maybe I'll just generate my own leads. I'll go and sell the deals and boom, I don't have to knock any doors. Well, turns out it's very competitive because when people, and the reason why this is not a good niche is because it's highly, highly branded. Okay. Everybody knows the main companies out there. You got the ADT, you got the Vivint, you got the Monotronics. Some of you guys don't even know that. That's even a little too deep for most of you guys. And then you have like the Simply Safes, blah, 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 blah. Everybody knows who it is and they have the market share. They're spending billions of dollars, guys, at least hundreds of millions of dollars on commercials, on this, on that, and the rest. It's very difficult to get a lead off of a generic website. Okay. And if you do, it's usually somebody that's price shopping, which makes it very difficult to close. Okay. Next, another one I've tried and I do not recommend is CPA services. This is one of the first projects that I did. And when I was first starting out, I was just trying to get clients. I was like, who has businesses? And I went to lunch with this guy. He owned an accounting company. Still friends with this guy. We laughed about it the other day, by the way. And he's like, yeah, we would like, we do tax prep and all this different stuff. Can you get me some leads? Gave me $1,000 check. And I built a website. I think I called it Red Desert Accounting. And I got leads. I did. But again, these people were people that just wanted the quick little filing. They wanted the price shop. They didn't have any money. And these companies, they want people that are going to be around for a long time. It's very hard to keep a relationship and continually send crappy little small jobs to these companies and try to expect any kind of $1,000 per month deal. Okay. Not a fan, too branded. Next, solar. Too competitive, too branded. I'm just going to stop right there. Okay. Next is roofing. I don't like roofing because it is almost too high ticket. It is so high ticket to the fact that people are spending a lot of money branding, a lot of money on commercials, a lot of money on partnerships, a lot of money on signboards, etc. Whenever a niche becomes too big, what I mean by too big is it's too high ticket. It attracts the wrong people. It attracts the big boys, the big companies with the venture-backed capital. We got companies that are competing in the roofing space that own marketing companies just to do marketing for their website. That's ridiculous. And that's who you're competing against. I'm not a big fan of roofing, but back to what I said previously, you can do sub niches. You can do roof repair. You can do metal roofing. You can do tile roofing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And those things can work. In fact, I have made a decent amount of money in the niche of roof repair, not roofing. Next up, we have landscaping, another one of those niches where I knew somebody in the city that I live in, St. George, Utah. He said, come meet, get me some leads, cut me a check for like $700. I met in his, it was it wasn't sketchy. It was just a weird deal. He gave me like $700 and then said, go get me some leads. It just, for whatever reason, I think, again, it's branded. I think it's very competitive. Landscaping in general is very competitive, and it's not specific enough that you're going to get a lot of stuff like landscape maintenance and this different stuff. Now, you can be strategic with the keywords that you rank for. However, people sometimes don't know what they're searching for. They'll type in landscaping company and they're looking for their lawn to get their lawn cut. And most of the companies that you're going to work with don't want to deal with maintenance. Okay. Some will, but if you're going to do that, just do a landscape maintenance site. Go get the landscape maintenance leads. Go get a small deal with a company that does landscape maintenance and be done. Okay. However, again, if you go into a sub niche of landscaping, this can work really well. Let me give you an example. Artificial turf, artificial grass. I've made a boatload of money in artificial grass, which is a sub niche of landscaping. Go into artificial grass, not landscaping. Okay. And last on my list is going to be remodeling. Remodeling is a very competitive niche. It's almost too high ticket. It's branded. It's Pinterest slash Instagrammable. Everyone wants to see projects and pictures and this and that, and they want to get referrals. And I don't like it. And it's tough. On top of that, it's not recession resistant because who's looking to do a remodel in their house when everyone's trying to pay bills and everyone's trying to not foreclose on their house? It's not a great niche. I have had some of my students that have had luck in the bathroom remodeling, the kitchen remodeling. Me personally, I have done remodeling in general. Didn't like it at all, got out of it, not in it, will not do it again. But I have had students who had success in those sub niches, the bathroom, the kitchen. However, I have not followed up in this last year to, when things have gotten a little bit tight, things have gotten a little bit tough to know if they're still having success. Okay. Guys, this is the list of things. This is a list of niches that I have personally tried. There's a lot more that I've tried, but these are ones that I can tell you hard line in the sand. No, 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 no. I wouldn't do it unless you do a sub niche. And that's from experience. It's from losing money, losing resources, losing time. This is just my 2 cents. Now, there is a caveat, okay? If you are somebody who's listening to this and you're looking to generate leads for your business, your family business, or a business that you have ownership in, there could be an exception, okay? The reason being is because if I own a business, a plumbing company, or I'm on partners in a plumbing company, and I can use the plumbing company's branding without worrying about them screwing me over and saying, hey, Nick, I'm not going to buy leads from you anymore. That changes things a little bit because I'm not going to build a plumbing website for Joe's Plumbing, and I'm going to brand it Joe's Plumbing. I'm going to get joesplumbing.com, and he's going to tell me he doesn't want to buy leads. And now I have a site called joesplumbing.com. No one wants to buy leads from that site because they're not going to convert worth crap, right? But if I know that's my brother, if I know that's my dad, or I own 50% of that business, I have no problem doing my SEO techniques, getting this thing ranked, putting in a little bit more sweat equity into it because I'm probably going to get paid more than just a fee for my lead. So there is a caveat there. That's an entire other episode that we will cover in the future, and we have covered on our YouTube channel as well. Guys, I'm just an average, ordinary marketer out there peddling his BS. That's what my Instagram description says. I thought it was catchy. I thought it was funny, and it's true, right? A lot of internet marketers out there, this, that, and the rest. They know, guys, don't believe anything that I say, and that's also what I say on my profile. Don't believe anything I say. Test it, try it. If it's true, it should stand the test of time, right? So hopefully, my wish that you guys take this stuff into practice. If you're somebody that needs to go try this out, go try it out. But if you're also curious to get someone else's opinion, go to one of my free Discord, free Facebook, and ask, hey, what do you guys think about plumbing? You'll see what they say. Get other people's perspective, other people's opinions, and you'll see that it's not just me. Appreciate you guys being on this call, guys. Don't forget, we have a free Facebook group at Art of Dre, artofdre.com. We have a Discord channel. It's in the description as well. Free Discord channel. We also have a mini course at rentsimplesites.com. And for those of you that realize that time is the only thing you can't get back, you can apply directly for digital landlords. It is an application only. And if we don't reach out to you, it's because you're not someone we're looking for. And if we do reach out to you, then we will take you through the steps and see if you're a good fit. For everybody else, I will see you on the next episode. And guys, remember, money loves speed. Appreciate you guys. I am out.